What's going on, guys? So another red day for SoFi. Pretty much ever since we revisited all-time highs, we rejected from there that heavy supply up there and sold off. Now, it's not really just SoFi. The overall market has come down quite a bit, but SoFi is down about 6% the last week and 3% on the month. But I assume that we're going to be trading back down towards this 24-25 range. And that is where I'm looking to buy anywhere from 23, 24, 25 is where I'm going to start nibbling on SoFi and scaling into a heavier position heading into December, because I do think they'll be included in the S&P 500. But it is a little bit of a gamble, I would say, because nothing is guaranteed. Now, let's get into the chart. The reason I'm going to wait on SoFi is because it is a bearish rising wedge at the moment. And with the overall market selling off, SPY, QQQ, everything coming down, I do think there is a chance we visit this overall uptrend one more time. And I think that'd be a great buying zone, at least for shares. So that's what I'm looking for. Anywhere in this green zone, I think will be great. But we will likely at least revisit value area high at 2469. And we could even dip below that. But I would love to see it revisit that and bounce heading into December. So we'll see what happens this week. I know we do have some volatility events coming up. So I'm not sure. It says we're going to have the Fed minutes released on Wednesday, but I'm not sure there was even a meeting because the government was shut down. So I'm not sure about that one. As far as Tuesday goes, just a few things on there. Import price index. I don't know if this will move the market too much, but the big one will be initial jobless claims on Thursday. And then is that manufacturing PMI data on Friday, as well as NVIDIA earnings. This will be a big one to move the market after close on Thursday. So just be careful out there. The market is whipsawing around right now. If you look at just how SPY moved today, it was all over the place. So selling off, bounce, and then huge sell off, and then bounce towards the end of the day. As far as flow goes for SoFi, we are seeing call buyers step in now. 1.3 million to the call side, 500,000 to the put side. And that is targeting pretty much monthlies. So November's and January's is what I'm seeing. But pretty much just waiting for my buy zone. I've been very, very patient on SoFi. I have a decent position, but I wasn't buying up here. You do not want to chase the supply zones. You want to buy where demand is. So that's what we have so far on SoFi. A couple things I wanted to go over on Twitter. And I think this is very interesting leading into the S&P 500 potential inclusion. And that is that SoFi institutional ownership is at an all-time highs and increased about 4% month over month. 55.56 institutional ownership is also an all-time high. So that's interesting going into December, because if they are included in the S&P 500, well, institutions will have to start loading up on SoFi. So maybe they are front running it a little bit. A couple other things on here. We've talked about, I made a video talking about Palantir's inclusion in the S&P 500 as well as Tesla's and how much it ran. So I thought this was kind of an interesting comparison as well. We already compared it in another video, but just bringing it up again, it could have a run like Palantir. And of course, you have TrendSpider's chart here showing Robinhood, Palantir. So, a lot of cool things coming up for SoFi. We may not get the end of the year rally we wanted, but that just depends on the overall market. But still very bullish on if they were to be included in S&P 500. I do think SoFi will rip to $40. I still have that as my price target. So very excited to buy in this lower demand zone. That is what I'm looking for. That's pretty much it for today. A couple other stocks, that have been selling off is Rivian that I've been talking about. So this one popped up, broke out, and of course comes all the way back down. Just the Rivian way, So remaining patient on this one. Popped all the way to like 18, and of course sold off. So still holding that one. And then I'm not in CCCX, but I am patiently watching this one. I really have been waiting for it to revisit the previous month low at 1382. And maybe even lower than that, because I would like to scale into some shares for this one for the long term. There will be inflection end of the year or early next year. So I know quantum stocks are getting destroyed, but this could be a buying opportunity. So just one that I continue to watch. But that's pretty much it, guys. Please like and subscribe and have a good one.